joking.
Let him play. He talking about his daddy.
You are embarrassing yourself and your family. You embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself. What is she talking about?
Get off me. Man, get off me.
He choking
Well,
him
you
now.
can't do nothing with me.
You're
upset.
Shut
You're
up.
mad.
You can't.
You're
You
mad,
can't
sir.
lose it.
I
know. I know you. You can't. I know you. I know you. I know you. I know you.
Ain't no mystery about it.
I know you though. I know you though. I know you. What's wrong with y'all? Why y'all doing that to me? Y'all know me. You know I stand on business. You know I stand on business. Why you even letting somebody play with me like that? Why you let somebody play with me like that? Why you let him play with me like that? Why you let him play with me? No, ain't no joking.
Let him play. He talking about his daddy.
You are embarrassing yourself and your family. You embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself. What is she talking about?
Get off me. Man, get off me.
He choking
Well,
him
you
now.
can't do nothing with me.
Yeah, that's him right there. That's T.I. right there. He
Yeah.
choking him.
You're upset. You're
mad. You
You're
can't.
mad, sir.
You can't lose it. I know. I know you. You can't. I know you. I know you.
Oh, it's repeating.
I know you.
Ain't no mystery about it.
I know you though. I know you though. I know you. What's wrong with y'all? Why y'all doing that to me? Y'all know me. You know I stand on business. You know I stand on business. Why you even letting somebody play with me like that? Why you letting somebody play with me like that? Why you letting him play with me like that? Why you letting him play with me? No, ain't no joking. Ain't no joking. What do you mean?
You are embarrassing yourself and your
Yeah,
family.
he
You embarrassing
repeating.
yourself. You are embarrassing.
But Kane,
What's your thought on little King Harris talking about Clifford Harris, which is T.I.? What's your thoughts on the way he reacted to the way his dad was? I guess yeah, they was at a Atlanta Falcons football game or whatever. But what are your thoughts on that, bro?
okay, just to give a little bit for our congregation, his son was talking about, he didn't grow up with a silver spoon in his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
He was beyond those gates, the gated community. He was outside. That's what he was talking about. He was outside.
So
and he had to go to his grandmama's house, But that was just, he didn't go there often. But he said he was outside, saying he's from the streets.
Okay, so I know he's like around 19 years old right now. So, and I know that, there was a point when T.I. was coming up in the game, right? So he had to, kind of, make his name for himself or whatever. So he may have been at grandma's house in the hood for a little bit while he's trying to build his, business and his reputation, But, I think he grew up in the suburbs. No matter where, if it's in Atlanta or if it's wherever, I think he grew up in the suburbs. Now, I know that he's trying to portray this image because that's what's popular now. What's popular now is to portray this image of you from the hood and you came from the slums, you came from the quote unquote dirt, the mud, or whatever. That's popular now. I don't know why people or the youth, respond to that. Who cares? I mean, why is that a big issue or whatever? But there's no here or there. But him going at his mom and dad, and I guess T.I. put him in the chokehold or whatever, just kind of bring him back to reality. I get that. I get it. Just let him know, like, hey, now you don't need to be doing this. I get that portion or whatever. I mean, he is an adult. I guess 19. Yeah, you're an adult. He may not be living at the house. I don't know. I mean, he can do his own thing. He can say whatever. I would suggest for him, to if he is listening to it, he probably won't, but respect your parents. They brought you up. They did the best that they could. There probably was some flaws, and we know T.I. has flaws. We know that T.I. did things to put him back in prison. You know what I mean? Like he didn't step away from what he needed to step away from, and that messed him up. and maybe he was away from Lil King and from his other kids or whatever from a little stint or whatever, but
Right.
and they may have affected him. He needed his father. His father wasn't there, and maybe he acted out that particular moment. Maybe. Is it? Would you consider it wrong for him to act out like that, Lil King?
Gang.
Hey, look, well, whatever. I mean, you wasn't there when I was,
First of all,
12
yeah.
or whatever, because you was locked up because you want some act like you was hard and you had guns, and when you definitely need guns.
Okay, Kane. Let me jump in on this.
Right.
First of all, it was total disrespect. Total disrespect.
I get it. I get it. It's disrespect. I get it. They older. They need to be respected, and I get it.
Congregation, one thing about me, Mitch, I don't like to see kids, young adults.
He's not a kid anymore.
And I'm saying this
he's an
for
adult
me.
now.
I know that. I'm not talking kids, young adults, or adults that disrespect parents, the elderly. I can't stand for it. And I take care of the babies. Those are my two things that mean a lot to me. So to see him cut up the way he did on his mom and his dad, he did grow up behind that gate. Yeah, grandma's house for a little bit. Could he been affected when his father was in jail or in prison? Yes, 100%. 100%.
Yes.
But
of course.
this stuff, and I said, yes.
And he's
100%.
lashing out.
Look.
So,
look.
but it's okay.
He was
it's
lashing out. No,
he's lashing out. Dad
Stop.
wasn't
He's
there.
not lashing out. No. Stop. We're not even going into that there. He's lashing out because he said he was from the streets. He is not from the streets, Kane.
Mm-hmm.
His T.I. son is not from the streets.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
So this is a whole different thing talking about, Daddy, you wasn't there when I was
you don't think he can lash out about that?
Yes, he can lash out. Yeah, but no, this is about trying to be, and we're seeing this little trend with celebrities' kids, and it's been in the black community because Michael Irvin kid, the football player, son is a gangster rapper.
This is the way that they try to reach. They're trying to, just because he was
not trying to reach the parents.
You don't think so? You don't think Michael Irvin, that same situation when he's talking about Glocks and all this other stuff, when he didn't grow up in that situation, he's trying to get his dad attention. You don't think so? Because his dad wasn't there. His dad was on drugs, remember?
Back in the day, yes. But now you're grown. You can talk. No, just because I'm not. I see the point that you're making, Kane.
Yeah. Same thing when his
going.
daddy was locked up, and all he had was his mama and his grandma. That's all he had.
This was not the case. This was not the case, though.
Don't assume
that he wanted to just
don't assume.
No. This was definitely not the case. Him trying to. It's been many videos with him trying to be hard, saying he from the streets before. This is just the first time that he did this with both parents being there.
So if his daddy is speaking it in his music, what do you expect? If his daddy is talking about selling drugs and being in the streets and coming up from the hood, what do you think the son is going to replicate? You emulate he's emulating what he sees, right? He's emulating what his dad is doing, right?
That's a good point right there, Kane.
Okay.
But he didn't experience that. He can he can act, okay? Because it is entertainment when we're talking about rap. It's few rappers that did the things that they talk about.
True.
And we see what happens to them, especially with the drill rappers right now.
True.
You know, so that's a whole different. That's a whole different.
But what if that's what he's doing, though? What if that's what he's doing? Then what do you say then? What do you say to that?
If that was what he was doing, or that is what he's doing now,
this is how he's reaching out. This is how he's reaching. Maybe
He's
just because remember him and
yes,
Tiny, Ti and Tiny has little relationship issues too, right? So
right.
maybe he wasn't there at the times that he needed him there, and this is the only way that he feel like he needs to get attention from his daddy. Because his
Okay,
daddy
maybe.
wasn't there. Because like I said, Tina, not
Okay.
Tina, but Tiny. That's her name. So
Mhm.
Tiny, they had relationship problems, and
Yes.
at one point they was like, we're separated, and now they're back together or whatever, right? And
But
maybe
look,
he had moved on and not been in with I don't know the specifics of it, but why
that
don't
and
you look at King in the sense where he's saying, Dad, this is I know you was in jail and I missed you during that time and I needed you during
you
that
just get
time.
to him.
And then same thing with you and mom. I know that it was going around that this was happening and whatever, right? So
Kane,
it's
that's
one thing of being present, but it's another thing of being, truthful with your kids too, and being
yeah,
able to explain these
Kane,
different things.
Kane, but that's a whole different subject, okay? If he chose to do that, if he had the courage to do what you just said,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going on the aspect of the video where they were just joking with each talking. I didn't grow up with a silver spoon in my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Son, no, you're not.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're not.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's what T.I. was from his daddy
Yeah.
doing the things that he did, but you didn't have that type of lifestyle.
And I
We
get it.
work
I
as
get that.
parents
I get
to
that, brother.
make it better for our kids.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
we're not gonna, I'm not gonna use that excuse. And what you're saying is so valid, okay? But the situation that presented itself right then, that was not that type of time. That was not that type of time. You can have a discussion, and Tiara already released a statement saying he's still riding for his son and all that. He always his son's
Yeah, yeah,
biggest
yeah, yeah.
supporter and all
Yeah,
of that.
yeah,
But
we know
still,
that. We know that part.
yeah,
We know that part.
he is. But and this will bring up another topic right here. When we have our kids and say they go astray, I couldn't see myself, I couldn't see you talking to our fathers like that,
Mhm.
even addressing them like that,
Well,
acting like we ready
it's
to
different. Is
fight.
is the reason why it's different is because we were brought up different, and we
Yeah,
treated we have treated our kids a little bit different. Our generation, me and you. Our fathers treated us different, probably a little bit harsher than we treated our kids, right? Because we
right.
looked at that situation with our fathers and like, oh man, I'm not gonna do that to my child. I just felt like it was so harsh, but it was and we didn't think that it was gratifying in the sense where it helped us to be motivated to get things done, to make sure things are happening. Now you look at the youth now. Where are they at now? Or do they still have that same drive that our dads put in us? No.
No, they don't even want to get driver's license. A
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
guys surprised me with that.
Yeah.
But with his situation, do we need to have a talk if he's reaching out? Which I don't think he
I
is.
think he is, man.
I don't
I
think
think
he
Lil
is.
King, he
Because
found that opportunity. He was on live and he recorded it. And yeah, Dad got the best of me and showed me, put me in my place. But however, I feel like it's more to it. And I think that T.I. needs to sit down and talk to Lil King and talk to him and just feel where you're coming from with this.
Kane,
He felt quote unquote disrespected, but just sit down and listen to him. Just listen to him. You ain't got to correct everything that in his feelings or whatever. Just listen to what he has to say. I know Ti probably never see this or whatever, but that's all he needs to do. He needs to sit down with his son and just see where he was coming from with his actions at that football game.
I think Ti showed great restraint. He did right, uh, but like I said, I would not allow the disrespect like that.
Yeah,
And
yeah. So
you
you
lying to yourself,
okay,
saying,
okay,
and
okay,
I
okay.
know that parents know
If it's
that.
disrespect, if you saying it's disrespect, then you're not
Oh yeah.
listening to the child. You just go ahead and do what you need to do to put them in place, right?
Oh yes. In that aspect,
Yeah, you
hundred
just put
percent.
them in place,
Yes.
right? You still don't even. You still can't.
100%.
You still
100%.
can't figure out what's happening because it's gonna happen
We would
again.
talk about it. We
How
would
you gonna
talk
talk
about it.
about it?
But
All
right
you
there,
did was put them
yes.
in the chokehold.
After this,
That's all you did.
no, no,
You
no,
disrespect your
no.
mama. You disrespecting me.
Oh
Huh?
yeah. Hey,
Huh? What is that? What does that do to him?
let me tell you
Tell me what
something.
it does to the king and king aspect. From his perspective, he just know I
Hmm.
need to shut up and listen to mom and daddy.
Oh,
That's all he
no,
knows from that
look.
instant.
First of all, he is old enough. If he's 19, 20 years
We're not
old,
talking about
no,
the
we
age. We're
shutting it
just
down.
talking about the situation.
Yeah, well,
Him
the situation.
and
He
his
is.
daddy
We
and his
don't. We don't
mama.
establish that he's
Yeah.
an adult. No, you're not
Yeah,
going to
we know
continue to
we know
talk
how old he
crazy.
is.
You're
We
not going
know
to
how old he
continue to
is.
talk crazy. Well, you kept saying it, so I had to reiterate it too.
Okay.
So we're not going to continue to do all of this talking back and forth, and then you're approaching your dad like you want to do something. No, it's going to be shut down. And then
We
when we get home, it might take. We might have to clear our heads, but we're going to talk about it because that's the right thing to do. But at that point, shutting it down. That's it. That's what I'm talking about. It's not going to be a time
so
right
Ti
there
was
to say,
right.
okay,
So Ti was right for choking
yes,
him.
100%.
For choking him.
I don't know if he choked him.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's
Somebody,
the thing.
no, somebody
That's
was pulling them back. I don't
yeah,
know,
yeah,
but he grabbed him and he
yeah,
said, "Son, you can't do nothing with me."
yeah,
That's how it's supposed to be. If
yeah.
you challenging dad, especially when you're in the wrong, no, we're not gonna. As far as me, we're not gonna. I'm not gonna put
I
up
think
with it.
we lose our kids when we do that though.
Okay, so you're gonna allow your kid
No,
to
no, no, no.
to
I'm not
get
gonna
up in
allow him
front of
to
your
do
face,
anything because
and then,
remember we talked about words,
mhm,
right? And for
yes,
you, words are very powerful. For me, words are nothing.
okay,
For me, words don't matter. I mean, especially
I
depending on
got you.
who they come from. Oh my God. But if you say
Yeah,
something, okay, we'll talk about it later. And we move on. The energy don't need to be the same. If the energy is the same, then you know it's gonna escalate.
it's
It's gonna
already,
escalate. You know if T.I. is yelling at him, he's yelling back, it's gonna escalate. So that's I need to calm you down. That's exactly what he did. He calmed him down
and that's it.
because he
That
escalated. Ti didn't even need to. He's like, oh, don't worry about that. Don't worry about it. He could have dismissed that real quick.
Kane.
He could
And look,
have.
we're talking about the young people of today.
Yes.
And he didn't stop. Okay, and we'll talk about it later and then turn it back and start walking. And
Yes.
then
He could
let's
have
just
did
say
that.
he continues to walk and then, hey, I'm not done talking to you, and then grab you around.
That's different if he touched him.
No,
We're
but I'm
not
just
talking about.
saying,
We're
Kane,
not talking. You're talking about something totally different. You're talking about
that
if
could
he
have
touched
happened
him,
though.
did all that. He didn't
Come
do
on,
all that,
Kane.
man.
He didn't do
He
he
just
didn't
put him.
allow it to happen though.
Okay.
He didn't allow it to happen. I am for
Mm-hmm.
talking to the kid, the young man, but I'm going to counsel that situation right then and there. That's what I'm
And
saying.
counseling it,
And
what does that entail for
just
the young fathers out there? What does that entail?
if my son came to me like that and was approaching me and walked up on me and was talking crazy to his mother, hey son, no, we're not doing that here. And you still approaching me, I'm going to counsel that situation right there.
What does
I'm going to calm
counsel
him
that
down.
situation mean? Remember, the young
I'm gonna
fathers
calm him.
that are
Yes,
dealing
yes.
with
I
these
I
teenagers
heard you
now.
say it once. I heard
Yes.
you say it
So what
once.
does
But it's not
explain
gonna
what
be
that means?
disrespect. Yes.
What
Whatever
do
needs
they
to
need
be
to do in
done.
this
What
situation?
Ti did, he grabbed him. Son, you can't do nothing to me because he just had his hands on him. I ain't seen nothing about choking. Son, stop this right here. It's nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
And he let him know that you
That's what
can't do anything.
you're telling the young dads to do this.
Son, I'm saying son. But
Mhm.
Cain, if it escalated to that degree.
It's just
Okay,
remember we
I
didn't touch him. He's just talking. So you're saying
he had
what
to
the
touch. I
dad
don't know
need
if
to do?
Ti just came. We didn't see all the whole clip, and then he just grabbed him. If he's approaching, no, Kane, we don't do that to our fathers. We don't do that to our fathers.
So you're saying that King grabbed
If we,
Ti.
yeah,
That's the only way Ti
he
would have
walked
put
up
hands
on him.
on him.
He walked up on him.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't see the whole video clip. We didn't see the whole
I
video
mean, but
clip.
the video
This
video
just
clip
my
is
assumption. Yeah,
it's
yeah.
because
Somebody was
he was going
pulling.
live. He was going
Yeah,
live, and then you can kind of see how the situation.
because he said,
Nobody
"Son,
else
you
was. I mean, it
right,
probably was some other people
right,
recording, but
right, right,
we
right,
haven't seen
right,
that video.
right, right, right,
Yeah,
right."
yeah, we haven't
And
seen that.
son, I'm not saying beat your son down, and I know you was trying to iterate that, saying this is what you're telling the young fathers. No, I'm not saying that, and I
Mm-hmm,
didn't allude to that.
mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna counsel that situation when it presents itself. That's it. If you're walking up on me, my son, my seed, we're
Mm-hmm.
not doing that here. And you live with me? No, we're not gonna do that. And that's just me being a father. That's my tactic right there. We're
Mm-hmm.
gonna talk about it and we're gonna address it. But
Mm-hmm.
no, I can't allow you, son, to
Well, so
disrespect
what?
your mother
So
or disrespect
wouldn't
me.
you? And this is my perspective. If my
Mhm,
son came to me or was talking crazy like that, I would take him and just him,
mhm.
my wife or girlfriend, whoever, they would keep going, and we would go the opposite direction and talk. That's exactly what I would do. Come with me. Look, this is what you sit down and you talk to him.
I see, and that's
And
a
that's what
great
I would do.
scenario.
I
If you do it, he
wouldn't
said,
do
"No, I
that
ain't going
whole
with
little
you."
thing and try to,
Mm-mm.
because the way social
He didn't
media is
try to
trying to
embarrass
say
himself.
is he's taking up for his mama and all. You know what I mean? Like he was
He
not his
wasn't trying.
mama, but Ti was for his wife or whatever. He was like, hey, you don't talk to your mama like that and all that. No, no, no. Come on, let's talk. Let's talk. Tiny, keep going. I'll meet you there. Where we going? Let's talk. Turn this phone off. Turn the live feed off. Let's talk.
Right.
Why do you feel like you need to do this? That's that right there. I think could go a long way than this whole little grabbing and all this other stuff. Because now he's going to be defensive. He don't want to open up to you right now. He's not going
Right.
to do that. He's gonna shut down, and he may confide with whatever you say because you strong armed him, and now he's got to like, okay, all right, yeah, whatever, and then he move on.
Kane, I see your point 100%. I see your point. I hear you right now. But if he chooses not to, even though you said that, come on, let's go talk and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Man, get your hand off of me, whatever. Anything can happen, and we
Yeah,
know that.
yeah,
That's just true
yeah.
or
I get it.
whatever.
I get it. I get
And
that.
and
I get
and,
that.
and people, congregation, family members, put something in the chat. What would you do or whatever? It's not even a big issue of agreeing with me or Kane, but what would you do in that scenario? You
Yeah.
know, and we basically talking to the men right now because I wouldn't expect Mama to have to do that.
Mm-mm. Nah,
I wouldn't
nah.
expect that.
Yeah, yeah.
But it
I
was
would
just
want.
a bad case, brother. That's
Yeah.
all.
Yeah,
That's
and I
all.
get that, and yeah, in the chat, man. If you made it this far, man, put it in the chat. Like, let us know how you
Yeah.
feel. We'll respond. We'll definitely respond and see, how what's your thoughts on it. How would you react in that situation if that was your son? Remember, he's 19. Ti is 43 or whatever. But how would you do? How would you react in that situation? Hey, look, my final
Yeah.
thoughts is, man, stay in tune with your kids, talk to your
Yeah.
kids, let them know about different situations, and they don't need to follow the crowd. Don't follow the
Yes.
crowd. I mean, I understand the king is saying I'm this, I'm that. I didn't have a silver spoon, whatever. And in our eyes, we're probably like, yeah, you did, because he was making millions and you were just at home with mama and grandma or whatever, right? But in all actuality, look, talk to your kids, let them know where they come from, and by all means, be included in their life. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. What you got,
You
Mitch?
covered
Close us
you
out, bro.
covered it right there.
That's it.
You covered it. That's it. You
Okay.
just said
Okay.
everything. So I don't have to say anything.
For
Just
sure.
keep supporting us, y'all,
Yeah.
and watching it. channel.
Yeah,
And if
for
you
sure,
have,
man. Hit subscribe, man. Hit subscribe.
yes,
Even if you
yes,
don't like us, and I would say this to some of those people, because some people they be getting in on it, right? They in the comments, they be getting in. They're like, this guy right here, what is he talking about? He don't know what he's talking about. I get it. And we both have opinions. And I'm not gonna disrespect your opinion, and you shouldn't disrespect mine. So, subscribe. You may learn something from me, I may learn something from you. That's how it goes. That's the uncomfortable truth. Hey, baby. If you don't want to see us, but you want to just listen to us, we on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Amazon, Pandora, iHeartRadio, Google Podcast, all of them.